car buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
A professor believes that the opposition political parties in the Caribbean should be given the right to serve the interest of the electorate because they too are representing the interests of a group of voters. We'll be hearing from that academic during the course of the broadcast. Also, hope is the bread of the poor. Hope is the bread of the poor. Welcome to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and share. We go until 2 o'clock, and Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room, and I'll be taking your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. So all of a sudden, the island's top cop, Cressida Descat Peleus, will convene a press conference, but she does not say when. Does not say within the next week, within the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. So I'm wondering what would prevent her from saying to the press, I will convene a press conference to address some critical issues within the next, let's say the next fortnight or thereabout. The other issue is, and the question is, why all of a sudden? It took the Director of Public Prosecutions to convene his own press conference, something that was long overdue, where he made several statements and also apportioned blame at the feet of the those blames landed at the feet of the island's police commissioner, involving several matters. The Shakadan Daniel case, remember, he died in his lifeless body was found in the Miku police station in October of 2013. And according to Mr. Dasrian Green, this matter remains active in terms of investigations. Exhibits have not been submitted for testing, so the probe is incomplete, and he went on to call on the Commissioner of Police to cause this matter to be addressed. So, this would have prompted, and again, with regard to the VA45, where the DPP also said that there are further lines of inquiry that have to be explored, and therefore the police officers at the center of this issue, they should be arrested and interviewed, and under suspicion of reckless manslaughter. So this prompted the police commissioner, therefore, to announce to the press yesterday that there will be a press conference. I'm just guessing that this is what prompted her to convene, to announce to the nation that there will be a press conference. Because unfortunately, she is not in the habit of having press conferences. I don't think ever since she was appointed and history was created, she became the first female to be at the helm of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force that she has ever called a press conference. What you've had a lot of side interviews at various government functions, a sword turning ceremony for the construction of a police station or police station in the north of the island, etc., would result in her maybe being ambushed, and she would answer a couple questions from the reporters. But to convene a press conference, for it to be well organized and scheduled, she certainly has not lived up to that kind of expectation, because you expect that people in high office, serving as government ministers, serving as a police commissioner, etc., DPP, those people will convene regular press conferences, because there is always something to explain to the St. Lucian public. Do not leave it to members of the public to, in their own wild state of mind, to come to different conclusions. So you present certain facts before the public, and even then there might not be buy-in. But at least if you convene a press conference, if the reporters were to ask questions and members of the public, if they got the opportunity, would have asked the person who's at the podium, in this case, the police commissioner, I am sure that would cause members of the public to have more trust and confidence in the police. When you do not present yourself to the media and by extension the public, people believe that you have something to hide. So in this particular instance, I think it is fair for people to assume that because the DPP convened the press conference last Wednesday and he made certain statements that warrant the intervention of the police commissioner, that is why we will hear from her. So she briefly spoke with reporters that's on the sidelines of that exercise for the new police recruits. The training, 6-month training has commenced, and she was at a special ceremony to mark the start of that particular activity, and she briefly spoke with reporters.
In due course, we will inform you about press conference where we will answer the questions that you have.
But the public is concerned about it.
Of course, I know the public is concerned. We are concerned as well.
And what's the mood of the police force?
The police officers are functioning as expected. They are working hard and they continue to keep St. Lucia safe. They are concerned about the safety and security of the people of this nation, and we are all working together to keep our heads up in spite of the challenges we face with crime in this country.
How soon can we have the press conference? How soon?
I will let you know.
The island's police commissioner, Crusita Descat Pelius. Quite abrupt there. That exchange. How soon will you convene that press conference? I will let you know. I mean, don't finesse. Where's the finesse? It's as if she does not even owe journalists in St. Lucia, reporters, a press conference, and by extension, she does not owe the people of this country any kind of explanation regarding some of the comments that were made by the Director of Public Prosecution. When you are in that job, you have to be nimble. You always have to be ready to answer questions, to have emergency press conferences to address certain critical issues, because you're not there to serve yourself. And never imagine that whatever you are privy to, then members of the St. Lucian public are very much aware of of that same information that you have at your disposal. Never assume that people know exactly the necessary procedures that should be employed, or maybe the impediments and inconveniences and stumbling blocks that you are facing. Never make that assumption. So clarify, discuss, explain. You owe it to the St. Lucian public. And also, the top cop said to the reporter that, police officers, we are concerned as well about the crime situation in the country and what is happening with the office of the DPP and the lack of coordination between the DPP and the police commissioner. We don't get that impression that you, as the nation's top cop, you are concerned that Shakadan Daniel, that matter involving Shakadan Daniel, almost 11 years old, and yet still there is to be some kind of resolution to it. You have the Kimberly de Leon incident, which would have occurred in 2018, and yet still the police commissioner is saying, not the police commissioner, but the DPP is saying, this matter remains an active investigation. There are outstanding lines of inquiry in this matter which requires assistance from overseas agencies. And I imagine it also requires the input of the police. So we don't get any updates from law enforcement. We don't get any kind of updates from the island's police commissioner. And she expects us to assume that she and her good office, they're doing everything and they're working diligently to bring those matters to some kind of conclusion that will be satisfactory to the wider St. Lucian public and likewise to the relatives of those victims. Well, we open the lines right now to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Our question of the day, what did it have to take? Why did it have to take concerns by the DPP for the Commissioner of Police to announce plans to host a press conference? We already have a call via WhatsApp as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
Okay, we have lost that call, but continue to call us at 452-2979. Once again, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We will try again. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. How about you?
I'm holding on. Tim, looks like the islands, the leaders, look like they feel they don't know us any explanation as to what's happening. Because the Madam Commissioner that I seen is Membet, just the same attitude of our PM, That's what I'm saying, eh? You understand?
Yeah.
You would think that most of what the DPP said is very damaging to the commissioner and the police force, the investigating officers, etc., those involved. And you would think that the Madam Commissioner would be in a hurry to come out to straighten out things and have a date for press conference.
And time is not on her side, eh? Because
Exactly.
she was given a 1 year a 1 year contract. So it comes to an end within the next few months. I think at least September for the latest.
You would expect that would be an emergency for the lady. She came yesterday and she's saying, well, look, we have and on the 9th, on the whatever, we're going to have this press conference. And, it's like, just brushing people off like, what is happening? St. Lucian, I don't know, Tim. It's like right now I'm just sitting back and watching what's happening in St. Lucian. It's like our leaders, they don't care. They just leave us like sheep without any shepherd. We just lost a boat with no captain. Our commissioner, the same attitude. Our prime minister, our deputy prime minister, all of them is the same attitude. It's like, it's all about them and not about us. But politicians, you all have to realize, St. Lucians have to realize, you all vote them in. You all need to put pressure on them. All of them, from the commissioner right down, prime minister, all of them, pressure on them. But St. Lucians just sitting back, you understand? And then them politicians and all these people, the leaders, they just riding us, getting rich on us, doing all kind of corruption. Look at that mess with that CIP. The prime minister says he have nothing to say. You understand? All these kind of things. The next election is a wake-up call for St. Lucians, you know. I hope St. Lucians open their eyes. Tim, that's all I have to say on that matter.
Okay.
Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you so much for sharing your point of view with us. We continue to await your calls, 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Let's check in with Kimani to see what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, did it have to take a press conference by the DPP to extract public comment from the commissioner? Another comment, who is her boss? She is being advised by the Minister for National Security. Her response to the question is no different from that of the PM. That's not your business. I don't know. I will not take questions about CBI again. Another comment, the police commissioner is behaving just like PJP and the comrades in cabinet, acting like they don't owe us any information or explanations. All of them, including the Prime Minister, seem to have forgotten that they work for us. Tim, the mission to serve and protect by the Commissioner of Police is that she's serving the public and protecting the government.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
How you doing? How you doing, Tim?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, good afternoon. The reason why I called Tim, you know, that has happened to me twice. Once SNS and now Massey. Couple years back, I used to shop at Massey, both Castries and Beaufort. This time I had somebody in Beaufort, so I was traveling both places, you know. But there I went there to use my points to get something, you know. When I reached there, they're telling me it's $5 I have. I tell them, no, that cannot happen. You know, because I've shopped how many times and, you know, blah, blah, blah. They insist it's $5. See what I did? I just give them their card. I tell them I don't need your card anymore. The same thing happened to me at Massey, you know. Massey, I went at Massey. I went and used my points to do a little shopping. When I reached there, they tell me the amount. Okay, I decide to use it. When I reached the cashier tell me that the machine is not working because of this, that, and the other. I say, okay. They tell me the amount, I pay what I have. I pay it, you know, with my cash in my pocket. Tim, Sunday I go in there to do a shopping with the amount I had and some little change I had in my pocket. The amount I had before, when I go there, it was lower than what I had before, Tim.
Wow.
It was lower. So I'm seeing them.
And what was the explanation given to you for that?
Tim, I said nothing, Tim. The balance, they tell me, I just pay for the balance, I take my goods and I left. And I said to myself that I'm going to go there and give them their card and tell them I don't need your card anymore. That's how I deal with them. I don't need your card. The same way I did SNS is the same way I'm going to deal with Massey. I don't need their card anymore, you know. So that is what I call you to let you know, Tim. Massey is stiffing the nation.
Well, caller, we have no proof of that, caller.
I have the proof.
No.
Have the proof.
If, for example, you have a very active consumer affairs department, I think you could have taken your concerns to the consumer affairs department, and they would investigate, and then you can draw a conclusion from it. But in the absence of that, I don't think on the basis of just observation, etc., that you can reach that conclusion.
Tim, the reason why I said so is because the first time when I went, it was the amount, a certain amount. Okay, and when I went there Sunday, it was lower than the amount I had before. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. The amount I had before and what they told me on Sunday, it is too different. It is totally different, you know. So I'm seeing that they're thieving people, you know. So I say to myself, you see me, to hell with that man. I'll bring your card for you all and done with you all, you know. Then because they have other supermarkets, you know.
Okay, caller. All right.
That's what I call it today.
Thank you so much. Somebody says that, Tim, you have a time frame within which to use the points. Okay.
If it is not, it's taken back.
So that is why we need, for example, if as a consumer you suspect that somehow you are being disadvantaged, somehow you are not satisfied with something with regard to your interaction with a business a business entity and so on, there needs to be somewhere that you can go to. Your Department of Consumer Affairs should be readily available to assist you. If you have a consumer association, they can intercede on your behalf, because a lot of consumers in various areas, whether it's you're dealing with the banks, you're dealing with those supermarkets and so on, you feel helpless.
But these organizations, Tim, they are available to help consumers, aren't they?
But I'm just saying that due to certain constraints, lack of resources and so on, they might tell you come back, and they might take an inordinate period, 2 months, maybe 3 months, within which to settle an issue. I'm sure you have your own experience, Kimani. I suspect you're just toying with me on that particular issue.
These associations or these organizations, they are available. I just feel like the public maybe are not aware and they don't know where to go. So maybe it should be a case where they should be more available or online. Their presence should be seen or felt more for these customers or consumers to know that they can come to them. But they are available, Tim. Some people just don't know the streams to go to them.
Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message there. Tim, play that song for the nation. Captain, the ship is sinking.
Someone in the chat says, the Jabal shopped on the point, so you up north and south on different occasions. But these points, they do expire. They don't last very long. So that's probably what happened. Maybe what happened.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Tim?
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, Tim. Tim, I'm only asking why. Even as kids, we are told that it is manly to keep your word. If you're a man, you keep your word. Now we are asking and demanding that you keep your word. You promised us transparency and accountability. Where is that transparency? Where is that accountability? Come on. For some time now, we've been literally begging you, pleading with you to level with us. Are you a man or a mouse? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of us? Are you afraid that if there is transparency and accountability, that we will see that even you do not really know what is truly going on? If that is what you are afraid of, then tell us. Tell us that's what you're afraid of. But don't keep hiding things from us. You playing games with us. We're not children. We're over the age of 21. We're not asking for favors. We're not asking for money. We are only exercising our democratic rights as citizens of this country. Is that asking for too much? Most of our parents did not have the knowledge that we have. They accepted your shit. But this generation is not going to accept it anymore. We have the internet. We know about Shea. We know about Fanon. We've read the books of revolution. We've listened to Moy and his quotations. We know about Castro and Bishop. We will not stand back and do nothing. We know where we stand. La pani mun abutain we akor. People from the south are asking. People from the east are asking. Civil servants are asking. Farmers are asking. Students are asking. The guys on the block are asking. People from Bouton are asking. People from Cap Estate are asking. The foreign ambassadors that we have here are asking. The vendors are asking. The taxi drivers are asking. People from Fonse Jacques are asking. Hell, the entire island is asking. All we want is for you to respect our democratic rights. And you behave like this is too much to ask. Very soon we will no longer accept your contempt. You fail to realize that you are dealing with a new generation and a different type of electorate, one that demands accountability and transparency, and one that should not be taken lightly. If you continue along that path, you will only be fanning the flames of our collective anger. If we continue to ask and we don't get answers, our generation is prepared to stand up and do something about it. I'm only asking why. Why are people afraid to speak up? Why are we afraid to hear our voices heard? Where is that fear coming from? Could it be because they are afraid that a certain individual will be unleashed upon them? An individual who, from all indications, is morally inconsistent and doesn't seem to be guided by any set of principles. One who uses his platform to engage in all forms of character assassination and body shaming. Perhaps there are no mirrors in this individual's house, because the irony of it is that this individual has a face that only a mother could love. Why do we accept this? Is that what we're afraid of? Is it fear? Is fear the reason why we're afraid to exercise our democratic rights? We're about to run out of patience. When this happens, we're not going to ask anymore. There's a limit to our patience. You're pushing us. You're leaving us no choice. And if we continue to feel that our backs are against the wall, the next step in the progression is to act.
Thank you, sir. The NewsSpin poet. Thank you so much for that contribution. So, we are very creative on this broadcast. So some people call and speak in Creole, other people call and speak in English, and now some people, in particular that caller, is using a different kind of medium within which to get his message across.
Quite interesting,
yeah?
Tim.
Very.
In the chat room, someone says, let's see, US 1.4 billion of our CIP money is missing, and we're wasting our time talking about Massey points. Another comment in the chat, great poem, well written, well delivered. Someone says, I love his poem. Another comment, our generation is about to kick your ass. Another comment in the chat, look at a good literature teacher. Someone says, love this guy. Another comment, well, in St. Lucia, Democrats have no right. Another comment, he also said St. Jude would be delivered in 1 year and 6 months. Tim, Saturday for these poets and complaints. I can't today. Let's see what else we have in the chat room. Someone is referring to the poet as Shakespeare. Let's see. That's it.
A WhatsApp message, somebody says, Tim, are you aware that 2 government ministers and a huge entourage left the country for the United States on Sunday, including one of the minister's best friends and advisor? This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin. Still to come, hope is the bread of the poor, and a regional academic says, give the opposition the respect that it deserves.
Understanding the financial impact of job loss, First National Bank offers job loss insurance, specially designed to provide our customers support during such uncertain times. In the event you lose your job, coverage provides a financial cushion, easing your worries while helping you navigate career transitions. This coverage ensures that a job loss doesn't have to mean a financial crisis, providing you with the support that you need when you need it most. We are committed to standing by our customers in all of life's ups and downs. Our job loss insurance is more than just a policy. It's a promise of support, offering peace of mind and financial stability, ensuring that you can face career challenges without the added burden of financial stress. First National Bank, here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, 2 chicken fries in your hand, a drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy food for the road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC food for the road. It's finger licking good.
Oi, shh, Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe hardware, you know, and they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter, now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say, keep the sale going, and Europa say,
okay, let's do this.
I just come from there and I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Everything with a green tag is priced to go. Welding machines, steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No, Missy, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Vincent and Grenadines. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Super 8s are loading. Come see boundary-breaking, history-making matchups. Who will make it to the semifinals? Get your tickets early at your local box office or at tickets.t20.com. It's going to be out of this world. For more information on Super 8 match fixtures, go to t20worldcup.com.
Night Meds. It's your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 Cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With 3 convenient locations in Beaufort, 454-6344, Castries, 453-1868, or Grosley, 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our co-pay system for clients with health care.
Attention shoppers, the Tile Mania sale is happening now. For a limited time, save 25% off all tiles, plus up to 40% off on selected tiles at the Tile Gallery, located inside all MNC, Home Depot, and Sunbelt locations. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or adding a stylish touch to any room, we've got the perfect tiles for you. Visit the Tile Gallery at your nearest MNC Home Depot or Sunbelt today and take advantage of the Tile Mania sale. That's 25% off on all tiles plus 40% off on selected tiles. It's the Tile Mania sale at the Tile Gallery, happening now. Terms and conditions may apply.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastures Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast in sand and plaster in sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastures Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastures Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
So unfortunately, I did not read a previous message in its entirety, so allow me to do that right now. Somebody says, Tim, are you aware that two government ministers with a huge entourage left the country for the United States on Sunday, including one of the minister's best friend and advisor? I thought this government was all about transparency. When ministers leave on official government business, why is this not reported to the nation? Is there something to hide? This government is acting like they do not account to the people. I guess it's all because the people really do not care what this government does. As long as they get step, carnival, and jazz, they are happy. That's all we strive for in this country now. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and web messages 716-2026. Be forewarned that the nail which sticks out gets hammered. Continue to be resistant, continue to be the voice for change, continue to be strong. Don't ever think that your efforts go unnoticed. I don't have an Emmy or Oscar for you, but just know I think you're doing a great job. Let's take a call. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Rigobert. You are on the air.
Hey.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello, how are you, Tim?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good. Kimani, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you, sir?
Good, I'm good.
So somebody recently visited you at home? Somebody who was on island from the United States?
You asking me or you are telling me?
I'm asking and I'm telling you also.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good friend of mine. She lives in New York, but she's from St. Lucia. She lives at Banslagwa.
Okay, so she informed me of a visit to you.
Yeah. She sent you a picture also.
She
right?
did, yes. Is she still on island?
She's supposed to leave sometime this coming week. I'm not too sure exactly what date.
All right. What's in your mind, sir?
Okay. What's on my mind? I heard you yesterday talk about the picture and thing, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, I am just, I'm pressed in a way to just make a comment. And you see the poet, I feel good about it. You understand? And it's something very, very important. And I just want to encourage the young man to just keep on doing what you are doing. You understand? Because it is not an easy thing to do that, Tim, even you. You understand?
Yeah.
It is just the most monitored talk show. You understand? And everybody is listening. And there are those that are watching you like a hawk to see if they can devour you. You understand? But if I speak, I might perish. You understand? But I'm already suffering. So I must speak. You understand? If I suffer, I suffer. If I perish, I perish. I will lend my voice out there and I'll speak for those who don't have a voice. You understand what I'm saying?
What do you mean by if you speak, you will perish?
What I mean? Because those messages that we are sending out there, there are people that don't like it, Tim.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And they will get to you any way they can and how they can. You understand? To silence you. You understand?
Yeah.
That is happen. It can happen. You understand? Because they don't want to. Because they want you to sit down there and think that everything is okay. You relax because it's okay with some people. They feel that it's okay with you. You understand? But who feels it knows it. You understand?
Yeah.
I am feeling it, and I have to speak out. You know, and come what may, what happen. I will speak my voice. Ça me veut dire après-midi, me veut parler en titak, by moun qui parle en voix. Avec me veut yo savent that on est pour tout pour ça ou mettez à la foi ou en dit dans vous comprenez. Bon, il y a des délais ou pas ça paye. Vous comprenez avec au cas coûter. Vous comprenez, me veut encourager pour tout bout pour ça qui bon et ça qui pas bon, juste dit il pas bon. Pas mêler avec qui parti qui a un pouvoir, qui jaune, qui rouge. Juste parler la vérité, là où je une chance pour parler la vérité. Et moi, je voulais encourager tout le monde qui passe à fort pour faire un bagage pour quoi. Juste continuer à prédier et demander bon Dieu la force et courage. Et même prédier à faire ça ou paix. Because faith without works is doomed. You understand? You have faith that he will do something for you, but do the little that you can do for yourself and he will do the rest. And what I can do is to voice my opinion and war against things that is not right, that is affecting us in this country. This is my voice this afternoon, and this is my contribution.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us, Mr. Rigobert. And let me just take the opportunity to say hi as well to Brother Harris over in the south of the island. The last time he called, he was not feeling too well. We hope that he's a lot better right now. We continue with comments in the chat room and also on the YouTube channel. Kimani?
In the chat room, someone says, PW, Tim is in a good mood today. Call. Just bring the volume down low, according to Ninja Dan. A YouTube comment, someone says that while it had to take the DPP throwing the commissioner under the bus for her to agree to a press conference, these public servants just don't get it. We are your employers. You work for us. Answer our questions. Someone says that poet is now a short story. Quick quack. Tim, I believe in the longer run we won't have anyone taking part in Calypso because most times the judges don't do their jobs properly. I don't know if they are people higher than them telling them what to do when judging. Someone says, Tim, this man referring to the poet should be your next guest. Another comment, all these government departments are the same. They're only available to you when you owe them or they need you to complete their work. Take, for example, the Inland Revenue Department. How much available they are when they have to pay you a refund, but during filing time you will hear them all over the airwaves how you can get them at this and that location. Some are even willing to meet you at your convenience.
I think the NewsSpin poet wants to remain anonymous because the first time he called to the broadcast, I did try to engage him, but he would have none of that. So he just wants to recite his poem, make his contribution, and quickly move on. So that's a kind of a disguise in the form, to a less extent in the form of countryman.
Yes. Someone says, who or what determines the independence of an independent senator? That's a good question, Tim.
Yes. Who what?
Who or what determines the independence of an independent senator?
Okay, well, I can tell you how that person is appointed. It is being stated that it is after these discussions with civil society, private interest groups, your Chamber of Commerce, the trade unions, and so on. That's how that person is appointed. But I'm not too sure if there is sufficient transparency in how those people are appointed, because we know the method that's being employed by the opposition in appointing their senators. The leader of the opposition makes a recommendation to the GG. In the case of the government senators, it is the Prime Minister. But in the case of the independent senators, it is a case where various interest groups would make a recommendation to the Governor General. And that, let me take the opportunity, because Mr. Ember Charles was sworn in today as an independent senator, and that is to replace Mr. Nurani Aziz, who resigned from the position for personal reasons. So the swearing in of Mr. Ember Charles, he taking the oath of office today.
I, Ember Charles, do swear I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to St. Lucia, and that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of St. Lucia, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of St. Lucia. So help me God.
I wish at this point to officially welcome Independent Senator Ember Charles to the Senate or the Upper House of Parliament. It is my hope that your tenure here will be a fruitful one, Senator. Your package from the Parliament contains the Constitution of St. Lucia and the standing orders of the Senate. I urge you to read them carefully, as these documents will serve as your guide. Senator, I am sure that your sojourn with us will be an enjoyable and productive one. We look forward to your contributions to the debates throughout the sessions, as well as your participation in other areas of parliamentary life. I also wish to warmly welcome members of your family to the Senate.
President of the Senate, Alvina Reynolds, welcoming to the upper chambers of the island's parliament, Ember Charles, who was sworn in earlier today as an independent senator, replacing Mr. Noorani Aziz. We have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Rick.
Mr. Aziz, that was one of the guys I actually tuned in whenever I did. To hear. He was very good, I thought. And he had a lot of independent views he expressed. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, yes. Along with the other independent senator, Dale Lee.
Who?
The other independent senator is Mr. Dale Lee.
Isn't it Deal? Oh, yes.
Like Dale Lee, not Dale. Dale Lee.
Yeah, he's also... I should mention that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not often we get those independents that act out independently. But quite often I've sat here and congratulated the guy long distance. The second one you mentioned?
Deal Lee.
Yeah. But Ember Charles, I wonder how many younger St. Lucians know who Ember Charles is. And that's one of the few people I have any respect for in this country. I mean, I'm familiar with them, but special respect I have for a few. And then Bud Charles is one of them. He's a guy who tends to speak his mind, even when he was in the media. He was in the Media Association, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. And what has he been doing lately, Tim?
I am not too sure what he has been doing, but he's currently the chair of the Folk Research Center.
Yeah, he's not a guy you had shooting his mouth off like you know who, etc. But his head, it's always been. I talked a lot with him over the years, and I always found him to speak his mind, and to make sense doing it. I would dare say, if I were going to categorize him in terms of party, that I suspect his sensibilities, his feelings would lean toward at least the Labour Party at a particular time. You know, I would think that. I don't see that as any kind of, I don't mean to be mean or anything like that. He has a right, but I'm not beginning to suggest that even if he leaned towards, in his private life, he leaned towards the Labour Party, that would have any impact whatsoever on what he would say at the Senate.
But let me just share some information on Mr. Charles. He's a member of the National Steering Committee of the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program of the UN Development Program in St. Lucia. And his expertise includes communications planning, media production, electronic communications policy and strategy, cultural administration, and environmental issues. Remember at one time he also served at the helm. He was the Director of Information Services, Rick.
Under the Kenny Anthony government in 1997.
And head of the regional body for telecommunications regulation in the Eastern Caribbean, NTRC.
I've always thought very highly of him, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say on some of our issues. That being said, Tim, the gentleman, Aziz,
Yes.
when people of that caliber come into the Senate or they get into government offices or whatever, and they resign ahead of time and say it's for personal reasons, I know they have a right to that and they have a right to their privacy. But I suspect if they were to tell the public, just as they took an oath to serve the public, on leaving, they would also tell the public a little more than personal reasons. Not that I want to enter into a thing, it's a private matter like the man has family problems, wife, child, I'm taking all of that in mind.
I heard it's unconfirmed, but I heard it's for health reasons.
You heard what?
It's for health reasons. Health. His health. Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. Because he was very, very good in the Senate. Very, very good. Now, Tim, let me deal with our poet. I listened to him very intently. I enjoy what he's doing. It's his way of fighting the fight, etc. But I always listen to the words. I'm always talking to you about qualifying words and so on and so on. And throughout the poem, his very interesting poem, was that word ask. We ask, right? Do you recall?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you haven't forgotten that.
No.
A lot of ask. And a long time now, we should have stopped asking, Jim, and asking and requesting, you can say yes or no. Right to from our public officials, we have a right to demand that they serve us. If we are in fact the masters or the other servants, we don't make requests of them except in matter of etiquette. But we are past the matter of being talking etiquette, and we ought to be making very serious or else demands. And I dare say the country can no longer afford, whether it is UWP in office, whether it's Labour Party in office, or any kind of other party in office. The way the country is going, we are so close to the abyss and everything else that I don't think we should be. I mean, we have elections every year, every 5 years, but I don't think there's any law that binds us to elections every 5 years. The country, to my mind, has a duty, if it truly believes any government is, and I'm not joining yet on saying this applies to this government. If I thought it applied to this government, I would say so. But I'm just wanting to make a point that while we wait for 5 years, we're supposed to wait for 5 years. There are situations like we had it once, the previous Labour Party government that lasted 3 years, for example. And the people decided they couldn't afford to have them in office for more than those 3 years.
It wasn't even 3 years. I think it was 2 years.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So we have gotten so passive, so beaten, so afraid, so shit scared that we don't even talk. And the poet was talking about, we're afraid to talk. Afraid of what? And he referred to certain ministers who are scaring the daylight out of the people of this country, rendering them silent, scared for their lives. Well, I think by now most St. Lucians have an idea who that poet might be referring to. And if even 30% of the public think they know automatically who the person is being referring to, and we are doing nothing, then we are in trouble and are just targets waiting to be dealt with, voluntary targets waiting to be dealt with. So we have when the poet writes his stuff, it's all well and good to say, I enjoyed the poem. That poet is not writing for enjoyment. That poet is writing the message. That poet is telling us we have to stop this wimpy attitude. That when we need to stand up, we must stand up. And interestingly, the Labour Party is well known for standing up by any means necessary when it deems that's what the occasion demands.
Which when it is in opposition is very often, eh?
Pardon me?
Which whenever it is in opposition is very often.
Well, it's only when it's in opposition, obviously. Although we're about to have a demonstration next month, a march. So what is it? A demonstration?
A march of progress.
Okay. Well, I suppose it. You know, those who are criticizing that march, I'm looking forward to that march eagerly, with curiosity, because if the Labour Party can bring out the same massive crowd that it tends to pull out to most of its marches, it'll tell us something, wouldn't it?
No.
It won't tell us anything that if they have a massive crowd.
It won't tell me anything. Rick, I'm very consistent on this issue. I do not judge the progress or success of a march.
But
hold on, Rick. Hold on. Not on the basis of turnout, because you might be in government and you have the resources of the state at your disposal. You can corral people. You can entice them. You can provide them with T-shirts and rum and all kind of things. And you could set up the minibus drivers, and the minibus drivers can readily pick up people around and so on. You have so many people who can make contributions because they're getting contracts, and then you have a huge crowd. What does that say? That people did not turn out on their own volition. The other thing is, Rick, finally, the other thing is, in the 1982 general election, you had the majority of the various campaigns, public meetings of the Progressive Labour Party, well attended, massive crowds. And what they got after the election? 2 seats.
You know, of course, Tim.
Or if not one, I think. 1 seat, John Odlum.
Tim, you know what that speech you just gave, you know 90% of your chat room, I know what you're talking about. That's another thing we have a problem with again. That because we don't know the history, when the history is referred to, it has next to no impact whatsoever on the listeners. And I so regret that, because I try so hard to keep people informed. I'm even being criticized for talking about things that, and for some people, those things were not even ever alive, because the years go so quickly. The people who were 16, those things were going on. They're not much older now, and they're not much more familiar with the history, you know. But let me go back to what I was saying. I was saying so many deaths. We've had record deaths at Independence. We've had chaos in Beaufort. We've had very few arrests. We have a justice system that, I mean, if you look at the DPP fiasco and we have all those things going on. That means we have a lot of reason to be dissatisfied, a reason to be dissatisfied. But reason to be satisfied is not the same as dissatisfied. And so, if despite all those things, the Labour Party government were to pull the same crowds as it did, by the way, be fair, when it was in opposition. And that's an interesting thing about the Labour Party. We may say they're in government, they can do this, they can do that, but they pull the same goddamn crowd in opposition. So that is undeniable. So if they right now, with all the murders unresolved and all the crimes and all the justice and all the people that calling to complain to you, but they have no job and all of that stuff, and the what regular massive labor crowd, what does it tell you, Tim.
Well, it might tell me. It might tell me, Rick. Hold on, Rick. It might tell me that they are good at deluding people into buying into a lot of falsehoods.
What I would tell you is that I'll put it in a different language. It would also mean the people, the masses of the people, are satisfied, because if in fact they are getting what they expect from their government, or homes, whatever it is they're getting, I believe even with just rum, it would mean they are satisfied that they're only just getting rum to show up, and they're showing up.
Rick, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It could be a case where if you go visit me right now, I might accept what right now because I don't believe, but because I don't believe in what you're doing.
Then that would mean you believe in nothing. And that would suit the agenda of the people who are organizing the march, and are guaranteed they will get those big marches because they know what to do to get those people on their marches. So what you are a dissatisfied person. If you're so drunk that you can't see straight because of your miseries, and you will go on a march to pretend everything is wonderful, then it's no wonder St. Lucia is where it is. We have to start believing in something. We have to start believing in what's right. When Alan Shastner goes on the TV and talks crap, people get on Alan's case even though you support his party, and tell him, political leader, you are talking crap. And do the same thing whatever government is in office. I have been repeating that for as long as I know myself working in this country. And if the people have not changed, it's because they don't like that message. They prefer the message of selling us for liquor, selling themselves for $2, selling themselves for a phone call from the Prime Minister. We are in the business of prostitution. If we like being prostitutes, who is Rick going to start preaching to you about against prostitution? That is the point we have to seriously consider. And that is what the poem was saying to me. Things he was talking about there, like the things I talk about, we've been doing it for a very, very long time. Today, Tim, our justice system is not working. The police, like somebody said on your show a while ago, the police take us for crap. The police talk to media people as if they were children. Like, for example, whoever asked the question of the Commissioner of Police and talked about what the DVP said. Any answer to what the DVP said, Tim, think carefully. Can you think that the Commissioner of Police needs to go and think about what a response would be to what
No.
Oh, you know very well. Exactly.
From the top of her head, she should be able to address this.
The Commissioner of Police knows that if the DPP said something about her that's not true, she knows that right away. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to wait a month to think about the thing. If, in fact, like some people are saying, the DPP threw the police under the bus or threw whoever under the bus, they know it right away, Tim.
Here's another thing, Rick. Rick, I believe the same week that the DPP convened that press conference from the police commissioner. On Wednesday,
we should have heard by now about the 17-year-old boy. We should have heard by now of the policeman who is alleged, the deputy with all allegations hanging over his head. There are a lot of things we should have heard from. The point is we are being treated with contempt, and we are taking it as if it's pumpkin soup. Point. We are getting more and more, our sensibilities are getting more and more numb, and that's what his poem is about. Because we should not be asking and requesting, demanding from both parties what the country needs, what we need in our country, what we elected them for, or what we expect them to do in our position. We should be demanding those things. I put it to you that if the government wants to do anything it wants to do right now, it will do it with impunity. Because
That's for sure.
Where
Is for sure.
that's right. So maybe we should be kissing Philip Pierre's butt. Maybe that's what we should all be doing. Because if the government takes it into its head to do whatever it chooses, nothing will happen on the back of that. Why is it Ernest Hilaire thinks he has the authority to pick and choose when he's going to answer the people and how? How can Ernest Hilaire, with the CIP under such heavy artillery, figure it is enough to come on TV and give us a lecture on Alan Shastney yet again?
But why should the Prime Minister also say, henceforth, I'm not speaking about the Citizenship by Investment Program, because that matter is a subject of litigation in the United States? What does that have to do with us?
And nobody in the press corps explained to the Prime Minister that he may be wrong in that assumption of that only because it doesn't mean you can't talk about things of public interest, even though they're in court. It's what you say about it. It's not that you can't talk about it. It's what you say about it that may be troublesome. You understand?
Yeah.
It's what you say. So if the media are too coward, are too scared of losing ads, are too scared of repercussions, and are letting down the country because of their cowardice, if all the lawyers, all the guys who we saw only a few months ago as vocal and voluble, etc., have now gone into silence and whatever. You see, you, Tim, good job, Tim. I could give you an Oscar. If tomorrow the government were to close down your show for any reason, and it could, in the circumstances we live, the government can do what the hell it wants because the people are either scared or are accommodating for peanuts. If that government, and now let me say something, I personally do not believe Philip. On the other hand, I'm ready to believe that Philip Pierre can be pushed amounts to the same thing. But we must know those things, because if we think Philip Pierre would be a good prime minister, but for certain influences, then we have to do something about that too. Are you understanding?
Yeah, but as far as we are concerned, with freedom of expression and all that, what would give any politician the right to shut down this program? This program is not on NTN. This program is not is not relying on ads from the government of St. Lucia. The program has been off the air already.
I have two answers for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have been there.
Yeah.
About having governments close me down or attempting to close me down. I have been there. I have had house meetings held just for Rick Wayne in an attempt to close down my business. You know that.
Yeah.
All of that I have been through, and I'm still standing. They cost me now when they want to steal, because they forget I'm a citizen as well as a retired. Although I don't put that name, I never will retire until I drop dead. The point I want to make to you is not whether they want some things because they have the right. The government is doing things because it can. The government is not operating. Our politicians, when in office, are not doing things because they are right or because they are wrong. They're doing it because they can. And they can because they have a pack of sheep who bleat on various programs, who bleat on chat rooms, mindless crap on Facebook, while they go home hungry, while they can't feed their children, while they can't plug the rainwater coming through the leaks in their homes. That is what we have allowed ourselves to become. Everybody must... I saw some pictures, Tim, of some pictures on Facebook allegedly associated with Mr. Anwar guy, and I almost feel sorry for the man he finds himself in because I don't know all the facts. Okay. But in fact this gentleman, I mean, with the history we know of him, really went up to New York to see the NBA and hobnob with these guys, because you can't just hobnob with these guys, just like that. If in fact he has property that I'm seeing on Facebook, I trust nothing on Facebook, but it's a public matter, so I'm commenting on it. If in fact those things are true, and they coincide with certain things that are being said about CIP and certain personnel, then Tim, how can we wait another day without some stuff? Why is it Mr. Imam responded? Just like when what her name? Gail, whatever her name was.
Rigobert?
Gail Rigobert. You remember when it was being said that she had property and so on and so on? At least Gail Rigobert had been working for some time. Gail Rigobert had a certain background. Maybe she went to the bank and got straightforward and everything else. Okay? But that was even suspicious still, you know. You remember that?
Yes.
When whatever it is, and she gave up to Trump, all those things were disturbing to me. And I figured they should have explain, because it's not, don't tell me these things are trivialities. It's not. What you have to do, party or it, is account to the people whenever you think they may be thinking wrong. Because if they are tolerating you as a crook, only because they have to, the country must die out of those kind of things, Tim. So the police and their reluctance, and the commissioner not saying exactly when she's going to answer to those very strong statements, because the DPP in effect told the whole country there has been no progress, further progress in the impact situation, because he's being ignored, he's being rebuffed. And finally, the more you talk about this thing, the more new things come up. You know, you should get the clip. It's on YouTube. You should get the clip of when the ambassador came here at the behest of then Prime Minister Alan Shasney to talk of impacts. Remember that?
Yes.
And what the final question was. I will tell it to you, and you can get that for yourself. It's at the ending of the tape, where a reporter from HTS asked her, when would the Americans be in a position to lift all of the sanctions? Because the Americans, because they were satisfied to a certain extent, had lifted some of the sanctions.
Yeah, on the immigration department and the Marine unit.
Right, and there were some that were remaining, and I don't know if they are not still in place still. But what she said was, I said, and I think I may be wrong. I said that the DPP was in the room. I may well be wrong that he was not. But she addressed the Prime Minister and referenced the DPP. She said, what remains now, I'm paraphrasing, is for the DPP to inform the Secretary of State we have gotten to with the prosecution of those implicated in this thing. And she also underscored that America has never talked about anybody being convicted. All America wanted was that this matter be prosecuted. Now, prosecuted means all through the process, right up to the time it gets to court. Well, Tim, the matter has not been prosecuted, has it?
Has not.
That nothing from impact has yet come before the courts. And all those things I said yesterday on hanging unfairly, perhaps over the heads of our police officers, over the head of St. Lucia and Helen. I want St. Lucians to understand that when Alan Shasney said, I reviewed the tape, that the matter had been resolved, what he was referring to, they had gotten to the point where the Americans accepted that we were doing something as opposed to nothing, which is what Kenny Anthony did in 2011, that he had done nothing, which is why the sanctions were put on. So, so the prosecutorial aspect of that had been resolved. It was now fully in the hands of the DPP. That's what he said. So what remained to be taken care of was the official lifting of all the sanctions. You hear me? And that can be proven. Anybody listening to me can go on YouTube, they will find it. And you can do them a service yourself and get the last question put to the ambassador by an HTS reporter. It is all there, clear to keep the people informed. So the impact thing has not been prosecuted. And the DPP is talking a lot of stuff that don't make any sense whatsoever to him. Of course, he will now tell you it was all hearsay. But even if it's hearsay, he promised prosecutions regarding our coroner's courts. That hasn't been done either. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution. Still to come on the broadcast, what a professor has to say regarding the role of the opposition. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make it dead. With Bouteille and Beaufort, accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or mail to customer support at lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely. First National Bank acknowledges the significance and accountability associated with vehicle ownership. For this reason, we have partnered with leading insurers to provide our vehicle loan customers with motor vehicle insurance that is not comprehensive but also affordable. Policies cover a wide range of scenarios, ensuring that whether it's a minor mishap or major accident, you're protected without the worry of financial strain. This insurance is designed to integrate seamlessly into your lifestyle, safeguarding your journey without adding to your. Our preferential rates are part of our commitment to ensuring that with peace of mind. We believe that safety on the road is a necessity. First National Bank, you're not just a customer, you're part that values your safety and financial well-being. First National Bank, here for you.
St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Vincent and Grenadines. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Super 8s are loading. Come see boundary-breaking, history-making match. Who will make it to? Get your tickets early at your local box office or at tickets.t20.com. It's this world. For more information on Super 8 match fixtures, go to t20.com.
Oi, shh, Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe, how do you know? And they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter, now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say, keep the sale going, and Europa say,
okay, let's do this.
I just come from there and I own 2 eyes. Everything with a green tag is steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No, Missy, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 4563. Sell.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, 2 chicken fries in your hand, a drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy Food for the Road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC Food for the Road.
It's finger licking good. Discover the future of body imaging. The course Diagnostics Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. neural pathways of the brain to the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate. Our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our to give you more accurate readings. Our facility offers fast access to specialist doctors, including medicine. It's a world-class facility in the international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Cour's Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-655. Ask about our flexible financing options, including our system for clients with healthcare.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a heater. We have varieties for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With Fort 454-6344, Castries 453-1868, or Grosley 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
Win a trip for two to Jamaica. Get back. You big. Purchase Guinness on special at select bars and supermarkets for a chance to win a 4-day all-expense-paid trip to Jamaica. July 3rd to the 6th for Jamaica's Guinness Sounds of Greatness concert. Receive a prize card with every purchase to reveal instant prizes and to submit your entry for the grand prize. See press for details. Must be 18 and over to participate. Guinness, made of more. Drink and live responsibly. Sponsored by St. Lucia Times, Inter-Caribbean Airways, and energized by Climax.
Attention shoppers, the Tile Mania sale is happening now. For a limited time, save 25% off all tiles, plus up to 40% off on selected tiles at the Tile Gallery, located inside all MNC Depot and Sunbelt locations. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or adding a stylish touch to, we've got the perfect tiles for you. Visit the Tile Gallery at your nearest MNC Home Depot or Sunbelt today and take advantage of the Tile Mania sale. That's 25% off on all tiles plus 40% off on selected tiles. It's the Tile Mania sale at the Tile Gallery, happening now. Terms and conditions may apply. See in-store.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Let us hear now from Professor Cynthia Giles of the University of... And I came across she delivered the professor sometime in 2023. And she dealt with constitutional reform, among other things. But what I found very interesting when she spoke about the need for governments to embrace opposition parties in terms of the governance of the respective countries.
The Constitution, unfortunately, Westminster is founded on the existence of, yes, party government. But but is also founded on the existence of an alternative in the form of the political opposition. Yet in the Commonwealth Caribbean, we have seen attempts to marginalize an already stricken parliamentary opposition. When we need to enhance, we need to fortify the opposition to provide what fusion of power and collective responsibility, especially in the context where the executive lacks any distinction with the legislative branch of government. And the upper chamber really does not exist as a bulwark against executive dominance. It cannot provide that. So we need an opposition. When we get a situation in the Caribbean where it seems to me that ruling political parties want to wipe out the political opposition, and we cannot afford to do so, so we need to put things in the Constitution that would ensure that the political opposition is in fact vibrant. So what I'm saying is that when we look across the Caribbean, we have a situation which I like to call the winner bonus phenomenon. We regularly experience that across the Caribbean. And probably this is a clear example. This is more than a winner bonus phenomenon. Don't care all the conversation they talk about, all the people voted for them, etc. People voted for them in the 30 constituency. That does not mean that all Barbadians did. And in fact, the statistics, even if the report is not yet ready from the 2022 elections, it's a year already and is not yet out. But we know that at least nearly 30% of the population voted for the political opposition. But they excluded, and there are all kinds of constitutional implications rising out of that. So David Bitham and Stuart Ware argued that what is necessary is for us to get away from this exclusive electoral system which hurts the opposition and citizens. And we need a system in which the votes of all citizens do count equally. What we have now is a system in which the votes of every citizen does not count for the same.
Professor Cynthia Barrow-Giles, who is a professor of constitutional governance and politics at UWI, delivering a professorial lecture that's sometime in 2023. By the way, she is a St. Lucian. In our remaining moments, so what's happening in the chat room, Kimani?
In the chat room, someone says the masses aren't satisfied. They're milking what they can while they can. Freeness is moral. Someone says a massive turnout is indicative of support. Let's be real. Another comment, history has taught us absolutely nothing. Someone says, no, Rick, a massive turnout does not equate to satisfaction. Another comment, what has history taught us when we keep repeating the same mistakes for decades?
And I know because of my position, somebody will take to Facebook and I could just picture that particular individual. And he will call me all kind of names for saying that if you have a huge turnout at the SLP's Walk for Progress in July, then that does not mean that people are satisfied with the performance of the government. And that is a position I took even when the opposition United Workers' Party convened their various marches sometime, I think it was last year. Any politician, because they attract a large crowd at any event, will believe that those people are there in support of them, and it signifies that people are satisfied with their performance, etc. Anybody who does that, I categorically believe that would be foolish of them to do that. Again, I would like to point people to 1982, the run-up to that German election. Massive turnout at the various public meetings of the Progressive Labour Party. And many people thought that the PLP of George Odlum would have won that election handsomely on the basis of the crowds the various meetings that they were attracting. They ended up winning only one seat, that of John Odlum in Castries South. So a huge turnout in any particular political event does not indicate that people are there to support you, people will believe you, and if the general elections are called tomorrow or next week, then that will be reflected in the turnout that you got. That is not the case, and clearly the evidence is there. Sometimes it is a case of which political party that can, in certain instances, delude the people into believing that everything is okay. It is a case where the political party which has finances at its disposal, who can lure the people by giving them t-shirts, by giving them rum, by giving them chicken, by organizing the various transports and so on, transportation for those people, then people will turn out. That's giving a false impression that people are satisfied with the performance of that political party, whether it's a ruling party or whether that party is in opposition. Any more comments, Manning?
Someone is asking, what's the statistic on employment in St. Lucia presently? Do you know, Tim?
I don't have the latest stats, and I think recently the government did provide some statistics on it.
I think
I really can't recall.
The Office of the Prime Minister, they did provide that, I think 14% in 2023. Okay. Unemployment, though, is 14% in 2023, but not the employment rate. Well, they actually did. National 1,000 jobs in 2020 to 97,000 jobs in 2023. That represents 86% of the working population. Has the statistics from the Office of the Prime Minister. Another comment, someone says, massive crowd, people might be coming for the largest and the entertainment they can get. Rick, I think the opposition is too passive and quiet. They need to do more mobilization and take to the streets. Someone says, looks like everyone is going through health issues under this government. Tim, how do you know it's for health reasons, referring to Independent Senator Norani Aziz?
Yes, I got the information from a reliable source.
Okay. The comment continues, you believe that? What about all the others that resigned so far? Not a word to the public. Someone says, these independent senators are chosen according to their associations. Another comment, the opposition appears weak and doesn't garner respect because instead of using the tools granted to it under the Constitution to bring the government to task to do the right things, it only comes across as to do nothing, opposition only to oppose. Tim, no one has to prompt the DPP or the commissioner to come out. Only the pressure from NewsSpin and newspinners, yet they are all still not being honest in their presentation. That commissioner is about to go on retirement. She's leaving the mess for the next commissioner. She's not stupid, not after the DPP put her under the bus. And now on NewsSpin news of the day. In India, Delhi police deploys water cannons on water shortage protesters. In India, Delhi police deploys water cannons on water shortage protesters. I read this. I found it quite ironic. Yeah, very much so. They have water to waste, but then they do not have water to provide to those protesters, to come through the taps. All right, so hope is the bread of the poor. And that is the title of a calypso in this year's calypso competition by Queen Yads. By the way, she did not make it to the finals, and she performed that tune during the semi-finals of the calypso competition last Sunday.
Inequality reigns supreme, trying to live this illusion dream. As the gaps between have and have-nots widens by the day, it seems. The powers that be in the ivory tower, preaching the gospel of hope. But here on the ground, nothing running. The poor find it hard to cope. Can hear my stomach grumbling with emptiness. Ask and you shall receive, they say, but no one shows kindness. So I'm handed a slice of hope instead of a loaf of bread. Hope is the bread of the poor, my desperation they ignore. Hope is the bread of the poor, with luck I can settle no score. If I bite this intangible sustenance, will my hunger magically vanish at once? Does my malnourished body suddenly find strength? Hope can fill my empty belly, not on this wavelength. So when I'm high on hope, low on currency, that's the trademark of poverty. Oh Lord, hope is the bread of the poor.
Queen Yads, hope is the bread of the poor. Bringing to a conclusion today's edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Continue to enjoy what's left of your day, and join us tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30, for another edition of the broadcast. Goodbye.